We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
howdy.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I am Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the sweet Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I talk about the truth about Mailer Haight.
Why do you say it with that much?
Because I don't want to be misconstrued of mispronouncing it.
Oh.
Does it bug you?
I just was wondering.
You know why? Because this has been a topic since I've been buying and selling property through sending out mailers. You know, and it's just I want to say it with emphasis. There's a lot of hate involved in this this business. And Jill's about to dispel this theory that I have here. She's long dispelled this because she has experience as a customer service person many years ago. So her theory is there's hate everywhere.
Oh, yeah. You can't, come on, think about it. There's no business that you're going to 100% make every single person happy. They're all going to love you. They're all going to think that they spent way too little for whatever they got back. I don't think that's possible.
And so she's really much more set up, honestly, to manage all this than I think than I ever was. And some new Land Academy members are set up to do. So it's something you got to get through. Mm-hmm. You know, this is a truth. This is a total truth time episode. It's something you either get over it or you're not. And some people are set up for it and some people aren't. I was not at all set up for sending out my first mailer and the deluge of anger that came back on it. And then I went and bought a bunch of property and made a ton of money. So that's just...
There's ways that you can remove yourself, too. We can talk about that.
Jill's going to tell us. Mm-hmm. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like.
Munglord wrote, on the receiving hate side of things, that's a different battle altogether with your state of mind. I once wondered if I had the thick skin also. And my first incoming hate sat with me for years before I figured out how to shake it. My secret is a little woo-woo, but I did a lot of personal development during COVID and figured out how to alter my thoughts around it and many other things so it doesn't affect me anymore in the slightest. I can receive the hate directly or by mail, send out as much mail as I want, anywhere I want, and the only reaction you get from me, even during the worst hate and threats, is a small smile on my face, and then I forget about it. Sorry for the long reply, but it's definitely a mental game. The good news is that it's a game you play with yourself, and you can set your own rules. That's great.
Here's my response to this, because this is in Discord. It's a not long time, but a couple year member this is all worked out for them. And, you know, I responded by saying this set of reaction, this templated reaction when something like this happens is so important in life. And so I have a mechanism like this, you know, that I use when there's any kind of confrontation to diffuse it and try to get everybody to laugh at the end. I don't care if it's the checkout clerk at the grocery store. And so my whole point to putting this question in, really it's a statement, is you have complete control over this, just like everything else. Total and complete control over what you allow someone to say to you on the phone about an offer you sent. As insignificant as that is in life, and the offer amount that you sent for a piece of real estate that's obviously clearly worth way less than what they think it's worth. Today's topic, the truth about Mailer Haight. This is why you're listening.
Yeah, I'm saving it for the show.
I hope I can say hate correctly for Jill.
I just like you have so much emphasis on it. It's just kind of funny. But I understand it. Some people are set up for it, some are not. Okay, so what the heck are we talking about? So this is how we find our properties. We are sending out offers by the thousands, right? To buy property, mostly rural vacant land, but all different types, at non-retail prices.
Why are you emphasizing it like that?
Because it's the nicest way to say it. And I'm not trying to insult anyone. And I'm really actually not trying to, like, People think like, oh, you're bottom feeders. That's what they all say too. No, we're not. So hold on a moment. We are sending them at a price where we can comfortably double our money. That's been our underlying easy way to explain it, and still have our buyer make some money on it too. That's the whole point. And the reason is because when you buy something so well, you double your money, and the guy who buys it from you is so darn excited because he's still buying it below retail. Everybody wins. So we have to send out thousands and thousands of offers to find those situations where the people are just done. They're like, I don't care. You can have it for $1, kind of thing. They're in that mindset. Well, we're not giving them that. And I'm not being that cheap, but they are way less than retail prices. And our whole thing is the more mail you send, the more you're going to have coming back to choose from, and you pick the best, right? Well, what happens? So thousands of offers go out, and you're definitely hitting, oh my gosh, way more than half of the people that you're hitting. More like 70 to 80% of the people you're hitting. It's not going to be received favorably. They don't want to sell. They don't like your offer. They don't like you. You hit them on a bad day. Dream it up, whatever it is. So the hate is when they get your offer, they're walking back from the mailbox, and they're dialing you on the phone before they even hit the front door to chew you out. So they'll either do that. They might sleep on it, do it another time, like to really carefully choose how they want to let you know. They might write you back. I mean, dream it up. They might email you because you have all your contact information there because you're saying, hey, I'm making this offer for this price for this property. I'm ready to go if this works for you. So the hate is what comes back. So the whole point about this is people get, at first you're kind of like, what just happened? I did what you guys said. I sent these offers. I'm expecting people that are all going to love me. And some do, but a lot of them don't. And the truth is you got to deal with these people that don't. So you can, there's a couple ways you can do this. Remove yourself. After you try it, I'd say try it first. Take some phone calls, see how it goes, see if you're set up for it. I'm totally set up for it. And if you're not, you can remove yourself. We have you can easily get, there's many services out there. I don't need to name them because now we're shifting to different services because we're trying them, but there's lots of phone answering services that will field your calls and take that for you. And they'll ask the questions that you want to get asked, like, gosh, I'm so sorry. Do you still want to sell? Do you really want to sell? And what is the price? And I'll see if we can make that work, kind of thing. I'll pass that to the owner, whatever it is. They'll handle that. But either way, if you're involved and you've got to learn how to, like the person who wrote that question, took them a long time to figure it out. They weren't set up for it. And they took it personally and had to develop some tactics and some skills to bounce back. And I look at it like everything in life. I'm walking around life. No one's going to be happy with everything that I do. Steven, 99% of the time, he loves everything that I do. More, it's like 20% of the time today, if that. Well, let's just, truth time, where you're not happy with everything that I do. And you're going to tell me. And it's up to me how I take that. And if I really let it get me down, and it was really going to affect me. So you've got to, the truth about Mailer Haight for me is, number one, protect yourself. Remember, it's not personal. Come up with some ways for you to not let it mess with your psyche. And then two is you're still running a business here. You can't take every hate call and just hang up the phone and go, a hate call, because there might be something there. So you've got to, you don't like where I'm going with this, or you want to add in right now?
I have no opinion.
Oh,
why do you think I don't like where it's going?
I don't know. You had to I don't know. So, and then my thing is that what?
This is right along the lines of what we're talking about. This is perfect. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And why would you check with me? Why would you care what the person on the other end of the line really thinks about the value of your property? The fact is, it's like, this is what it's worth to me. Mm-hmm. Your property's worth $10,000 to me because I'm going to go and resell it for $20,000. Mm-hmm. It's probably worth $30,000. You have to decide whether or not that $10,000 price is worth it. If it is, we can put a deal together. If it's not, Have a great day.
That's it.
It's as simple as that.
That's it.
There's a deeper thing going on here. And I know this because when I started mailing property, heavily mailing owners of rural vacant land, it's the first time they ever got an offer like that at all. So
True.
I had the luxury in the late 90s and early 2000s of being the first person there. That was a time when you could send a $500 offer on all the properties in the county and get like 40 or 50 offers back, 40 or 50 signed signatures back. So
because no one was doing it.
They just had no idea that it had any value, which is just not the case. And now the internet is all. So this venom, what I learned, my point in saying all this is that I've had a lot of experience with the hate, and I've seen it grow over the years, not go down, go up. And the source of it, in my opinion, comes from how the person, the seller that's on the other end of the line, came about owning this property. If they inherited it and their basis is in zero, and most of the time they never knew that their parents or whoever had it anyway. A lot of times we get calls from spouses who are like, oh my God, my husband collected property for the last 10 years, and he just died last 2 months. Can you just please, can you solve this for me? I don't want any of this.
What will you give me for it?
I don't even want to talk about price. Can you just make this go away? It's a lot of paperwork and a lot of stuff I don't want to deal with. And so that person has no hate. Right. Consider this another case study. A man and a woman are in their 60s. They bought a piece of they live in Boston. They bought a piece of property in Nevada because they both love to go to Las Vegas once a year. And they had a plan to buy, build a house on it and retire there. Well, their plan didn't work. They paid $30,000 for this great piece of property in Clark County. And they just got 30 years, 40 years went by. Their kids are gone. All kinds of stuff happened in life. It didn't work out. They get an offer for $10,000 from us. They're livid. They're not livid at us. They're not livid at our offer. They're livid that plan didn't work out for them. And so all this hate comes out on the other end of the phone about how dare you crush my dream.
I know.
They need somebody to blame.
It's true.
It's not the offer and it's not the dirt. It just didn't work out.
It's true.
Another one, this happens in California all the time, is they paid too much. They might have paid too much 3 years ago. Maybe it was on terms and they finally paid it off. And so we're staring at it going, yeah, it's worth $10,000 to us. I'm sorry, you paid $60,000. Now they blame us for that situation. So if you realize that, I did this episode intentionally to everybody chill out about it, especially on Discord, because it's not you.
That's it. It's not you.
It's not you. You can't take responsibility, and it's not your price. No. And it's not the fact that you spent money on a stamp to get it to him.
Right.
It's what it's worth to you. And I'm sorry your life didn't work out.
Yeah. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, I wish you all the best. That's how you need to end it.
But however, you have to arrive to this conclusion, like the person who wrote it in Discord in the question or statement today. You have to really smirk about it and just say, wow, it's too bad. It's great that I'm not that couple in Boston, Yeah. I'm actually proactively taking steps to make sure that doesn't financially happen in my life by joining Land Academy or buying and selling land or whatever you do. I
do feel bad for them. I do. And they'll often tell you the story and they're like, really? When you really get them talking, because you can't, once everybody calms down and they understand where you're coming from, and you get them talking, they'll say, shucks, you hear these amazing stories like, I've used this many times. That was where LAX was going to be built. I'm like, darn, that would have been great if it worked out, but it didn't. So there's all kinds of things. They're like, God, this subdivision was supposed to be gorgeous and beautiful. It just didn't happen. I'm like, I feel bad. And it would have been great. You never know how it's going to go. So I try to sympathize with them and understand them, but it still doesn't change my price. It's still kind of like, I'm so sorry, but this is still the best I can do.
And it still doesn't change the fact, this is the Detroit Italian coming out now in May. It doesn't change the fact or excuse the fact for you using horrific language and screaming at somebody on the other end of the phone.
That's true.
About something that it just doesn't, that's not okay.
No, that's true.
I have a lot of, I don't answer the phone anymore for a reason because there are deals in there.
Yeah.
And Jill's great at turning them around and buying their property.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that.
But even that stuff, when they come at you like that, just cut it off. Don't take it. You shouldn't take it.
Yeah.
And that's
because the next call,
you protect you.
The next call is saying 10,000. The person's going to say $10,000 is great.
That's the funny thing.
I was thinking about selling this property. You just saved me a bunch of stuff to do. Thank you. How do we get this deal done together?
You have to reset. This is stuff that I talk about. Like we're doing this intensives this month. This is one of the things I talked about. You got to get your head together when you answer the phone, because you really don't know what call's coming at you. Someone could be mad and someone could be jumping up and down. You got to be ready no matter what. Just be open to it and see how it unfolds. If you need access to any sort of ownership or property details, including owner phone numbers and FEMA flood map overlays, please check out parcelfact.com or neighborscoop.com. Created by investors, that's us, for investors like you. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you could find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode, it's House Academy.
Mm-hmm.
The episode on the House Academy Show is called Housing Market Predictions for 2021.
Or 2022.
Oh, 22, sorry.
Yeah.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Everybody came out with their predictions. CoreLogic, Zillow, Adam Data, all the big companies, and we'll look at them tomorrow. And they're very consistent, and they're consistent what I think too.
I'm excited. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, don't forget, if you're a Land Academy member, be sure you join us on Discord.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.